Hello, science people! Today I want to have a serious discussion with you. And I want you to keep in mind that this is not a call for vegetarianism, this is a call to end animal abuse. Here in the United States, we have animal abuse laws. You can't just beat a pet dog, you can't make an animal suffer that is a pet. But did you know there is no federal laws governing the conditions in which farm animals are raised? Many state criminal anti-cruelty laws exempt what is considered standard agricultural practices. This means that most farm animals are not protected by anti-cruelty laws. Farm animals are even exempt from the Federal Animal Welfare Act. The only federal oversight of the treatment of farm animals has to do with the transportation and slaughter, not how they're raised or treated or taken care of. The 28-hour law requires vehicle transporting animals for slaughter to stop every 28 hours to allow animals to exercise, get food, and water. But this law is rarely enforced, and the USDA claims it does not apply to birds. The Humane Methods of Livestock Slaughter Act is also severely limited. The act requires that animals be stunned into unconsciousness and rendered insensible to pain prior to slaughter. The act has been wrongly interpreted to exclude birds, who make up more than 90% of the animals slaughtered for food, as well as rabbits, fish, and other animals routinely raised for human consumption. The law also allows for ritual slaughter to take place without the animal being rendered unconscious prior. There are also some pretty wild state exemptions to how we can treat farm animals because these practices are deemed standard. Animals can have their testicles, tails, horns, beaks, or toes removed without any anesthesia. Animals are intensively confined in spaces so small they cannot turn around, extend their wings, or lie down comfortably, as in gestation crates, veal crates, or battery cages. Hens are systematically starved in order to spark the egg-laying process. Male chicks can even be ground up alive, and piglets can be killed by slamming their heads into concrete floors because this is deemed standard practice. Again, this is not a call for vegetarianism, it is a call to end animal abuse. Organizations like PETA show some very graphic images of animal abuse in the slaughterhouse and in farms. And they say, look, this is what happens. In order to end this, you have to be vegetarian. And then people are torn. They're like, I really want to eat meat. Or there's some people that need meat for health reasons. And they say, well, I don't want animal abuse, but I don't want to give up meat. And I think giving people that choice is not fair. It should be another option. It should be, let's end animal abuse. We can definitely end animal abuse and still eat animals. We can do it in a humane way. We do not have to abuse them before we slaughter them. Let's look at some of the ways that other countries do it. The European Union has made some significant strides in providing legal protection for farmed animals. Because many chickens are not effectively stunned before slaughter, some members of the EU ensure that chickens are killed by electrocution before proceeding down the slaughter line. Norway has adopted a comprehensive animal welfare act that applies to livestock, birds, rabbits, crustaceans, reptiles, salamanders, frogs, fish, and honeybees. It also requires that animals be killed out of sight of other animals. In the US, states like Florida, California, and Colorado have banned some of the forms of intensive confinement, such as battery cages and gestation crates. So I am sure happy cows and happy chickens taste better. Let's give them the best possible life before we eat them. So what can we do about this? We need to look at legislation. We need to look at the laws in our states. And we need to push for all animals to apply to anti-animal cruelty laws. Abusing any animal, no matter which animal it is, should never be allowed. We should not be able to abuse cows and chickens and pigs just because we eat them. I would love for this to be an ongoing discussion. How can we humanely eat animals if we're going to continue to eat animals? So I might not be telling you to be vegetarian, but part of this message is to scale back on the amount of meat we eat. We eat way too much meat in the United States, and it's causing us to kill our planet and abuse animals. A lot of these slaughterhouses say that to produce the amount of meat that they produce, they can't do it in a humane way. They can't make sure that all of the animals are rendered unconscious before slaughter. And so we do have to scale back. Again, not promoting vegetarianism, although vegetarianism is great, that will end this problem. But scaling back the amount of meat that we eat in a day will dramatically help. First of all, it's not sustainable. It is destroying our planet to raise as many cattle and as many farm animals as we do. And we'll talk about that in the next video. All right, everybody, until next time.